Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel with another Mock Draft Monday for you guys here today. Before we get fully started with this mock draft, if you guys can hit the like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell as well if you're new so you can join me on this journey as we get closer and closer to the 2023 NFL Draft. And finally, if you wish to become a channel member today, hit the join button and consider providing further support for the channel if you wish to do so. Now, we know now we're getting closer to March. We got the NFL Combine upcoming, free agencies upcoming, and so a lot of these guys you might not end up seeing at 26 for the Cowboys pick. However, something that's interesting about all the mock drafts we've done is that there is a realistic path for all of the prospects we've talked about to be there at 26. And I think that's key is that you're going to get someone at 26. It's just the nature of the business. And, I'm not a fan of when people say, oh, that person's not going to be there. Well, you don't know that. And that's why we do these mock drafts. We kind of go over scenarios about like, hey, this is a guy the Cowboys are interested in, or they're looking at this guy, or whatever the case may be. So today, we're going to be getting straight into this mock draft. We're going to go through who I selected at pick 26. And then remember, after free agency hits, then we're going to start upgrading to the 3-round mock draft, so stick around for that. And let's go ahead and get into who the Dallas Cowboys selected this go around.
With the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select
Jackson Smith-njigba, wide receiver, Ohio State. I'm going to just refer to him as JSN moving forward because I really don't want to be pronouncing the entire name as we go through this because that's a handful there. So for JSN, he's had some choice words when it comes to talking about the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, he put out on Twitter that he said he was going to turn up at Jerry's World if he were to be drafted by the Cowboys. And, the Cowboys have looked at him. There has been some reports circulating that they've taken a look. Jackson Smith-njigba, wide receiver, Ohio State. Now, keep in mind that I'm going to be referring to him as JSN moving forward so that I'm not saying the entire name over and over and over again. Make it super simple, okay? So here's the thing. With JSN, there has been talks about him linked to the Dallas Cowboys and him being a Dallas native. He's gone out on Twitter and in interviews talking about how he would love to play for the Cowboys. And, the Cowboys need a receiver. So the question is, why would he be worthy of a pick such as him at 26th overall? So a couple things that I really noticed about him is his route running ability is really good. I think that that's something that the Cowboys are going to need considering the fact that they're going to be moving to the West Coast offense. And, to be real, they need someone that can be a very good route runner but also have the ability to catch the goddamn football, which he's got really good body control. He's got a good set of hands and skills to go after the ball. There are a couple of things he does need to work on, and I'll talk about it in just a second. But realistically, the Dallas Cowboys need to add a receiver in this room. Whether it be in free agency, they go get a guy, whether it be OBJ or some other guy, you need to go add someone. And I think that considering the fact of what options you have at wide receiver, I think you're going to get the picking of a wide receiver, whoever it may be, at 26. Whether it be him, whether it be a Zay Flowers, a Jordan Addison, someone's going to be there for you to take if you wish to. And this kind of comes down to, does he fit well alongside CeeDee Lamb? And I think he does. I think that he has a high ceiling, and he's really good when you put him in motion. I've noticed that. Very good route runner. He's good at getting separation. He isn't the speediest guy, though, and this is getting into some of the knocks on his game. He is more reliant on technique, in my opinion, than really his natural ability to get away from, defenders and outrun them. It's really more cerebral with him. So I kind of akin him to how I would look at Amari Cooper, and I'm not saying he is going to be an Amari Cooper-like, but he is very much so a guy that takes his route running seriously. He doesn't have the explosiveness that maybe you would want, and you can probably get someone else to fit alongside that. But I think that that's things that he can work on, is how he attacks the outside. And, having only 1 year of college, numbers and film, because he wasn't available in 2022. That's something that is worrisome, of course. But if it were up to me, I think that you're getting a guy that would complement CeeDee Lamb. And if Michael Gallup comes along and he ends up being wide receiver 3 and he's back from the ACL injury, that's a nice little trio you got there. However, I do think the Dallas Cowboys would need to bring in another individual to assist in JSN's integration into the offense, because I think while we kind of saw what CeeDee Lamb did in year 1 with the Cowboys, you could get that with JSN. You definitely could. My main thing is that we're having a different offense. We'll see how things fit. But definitely a very, very high value player. I have a first round grade on JSN, and I think that any team that takes him would be happy to have his services, especially with what he can grow into. So I got JSN, Jackson, Smith, and Jigba going to the Dallas Cowboys at pick 26. I wonder what you guys have to say about this, because, again, I think that you're looking at a guy that can come in and be a very good starter for you at wide receiver, especially if he's in a situation in Dallas where he doesn't have to be the immediate number 1 guy. Kind of like what CeeDee went through. That would probably be your best bet. And also, drafting him kind of gives you the parachute for Michael Gallup. And I would say this to everybody. If the Cowboys draft a receiver in the first round and they don't touch Michael Gallup's contract, and Michael Gallup doesn't perform well next year, Michael Gallup could be gone next year. So that's an interesting fact to be aware of. So what do you guys think about this? Do you think that JSN would be a good pick for the Cowboys as we get further and further through these mock drafts? They're starting to see some patterns emerge. We're seeing some people go the receiver route, some people go the defensive route. And I think we'll have a more definitive answer of where the Cowboys are going to go once they attack free agency. And I put air quotes on attack because we know they're not going to really do much. But who knows? But look, let's just see what happens. Think what you guys have to say about this particular pick. And let me know down below how you feel and what you would do at pick 26. Once again, guys, thank you so much for your support. Have a great rest of your day.